feeling that synth wave?
It's going through me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wait, no, that's the chili I had.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, it's rambunctious like synth wave. It's powerful like synth wave.
It'll be powerful.
Oh yeah. So hello everyone. We are here on another triumphant episode of It Crept from the 80's. And today, if you don't know, if you can't take a guess from the opening of this,
or read the descriptor of what the video is called.
This episode is about one Sir John Carpenter.
Oh, we got knighted?
As far as I'm concerned.
We knighted him. America.
Right.
America.
He's a master
of horror.
That's right.
As his Twitter handle suggests.
And he actually is, not like some of those fly-by-night
pretenders.
Yeah.
To the throne.
But John Carpenter, wanted to do this episode for a while, and people have actually asked us to do a John Carpenter episode.
Yes.
And we're finally giving it to you. So for you specifically, you folks.
I don't know when this will show, but happy Easter.
Who knows? It could be. What an Easter surprise. What an egg to open.
Oh, excellent.
The John Carpenter
It
Crept from the 80's episode. So,
what do you got?
Basically, we're just going to talk about our love of the man, of JC.
JC. There's only one. Oh, there's a couple. But, yeah. But JC, yes.
Yeah, not AC. We can talk about AC Slater another time. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild one. That's going to be like 3.5 hours
Yeah.
of AC Slater action, rippling muscles and pirouettes and whatnot, and
short sleeves.
Yeah,
we're going off.
But John Carpenter. Yes. So we both share some love of the man, the myth, the legend, and we're going to talk about him, and we're going to talk about our favorite John Carpenter films.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right. Maybe sensual experiences we've had with the man, or
have I? No.
I don't know.
No, I haven't.
Not even in your dreams.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Watching him in concert, maybe.
Definitely. Okay. See, that's something we can talk about. All right. So, why don't you start? When did you really, like, what is John Carpenter to you? Who is the man to you, Mr. Tansky?
He's probably one of the first directors that came into my
bedroom and
my life.
fondled you?
No, that's too soon. Came into my life. My dad, again, who get brought up a lot in these episodes, and past and present. But he was a huge fan of horror movies, and Halloween was his ultimate. And I'll never forget him. He actually made like a dream board or something of his favorite movies, and Bob the Ghost, Michael dressed as the ghost, was one of the first images I remember. Around 4, and I'm like, what is this? So that was my first experience with John Carpenter's mastery. And then when I was, I think 82, 83, when did it play on TV? Kind of thing. 82, 83. But my dad had his mom and his brothers come over to watch Halloween, but I wasn't allowed to, but I still tried to find a way to watch it.
Rapscallion.
Yeah, so at the age of 6 or 7, that was my first John Carpenter experience.
And now, is he, as a director, as somebody in the pantheon of directors, and in your list of directors, where does John Carpenter sit for you?
I feel like Spielberg always and should be number 1, but it's a close second. He's the only director where I probably own every single one of his movies. I don't have every Spielberg movie, so he's number 2 on my list. Real close though.
Yes,
because I feel like I can pop in one of his movies and have less of a critical take, especially because he has a shorter filmography. But Spielberg has some hits or misses. But even Carpenter's bad movies, I embrace. So.
All right. For me, John Carpenter is my favorite horror director.
Okay.
Of all time. Spielberg is up there as my favorite director.
Okay. Not that much.
All around. Yes. But so I just put them into 2 different categories, I guess. We all love many directors in the horror genre, but John Carpenter for me is top notch.
Top dog.
Man, it's tough for me to recollect the first John Carpenter anything that I saw. You know, it's. You could say Halloween, sure. You could say The Thing. You could say any of those early, you know. But I just don't. I don't remember. I think
where it clicked.
Yes, I think for me, it was probably around the 9, 10, 11 age, where I was
associated the film with him.
Yes, and having sleepovers and specifically sort of picking out videos that were, okay, this is a John Carpenter, so tonight will be John Carpenter, that type of thing, where you'd bring it home with your friends, have the sleepover, and it's a John Carpenter night. And I want to say that for a young, budding, geneticular man like myself, that's when I really started to notice a style that continued. That, oh, okay, this one totally feels like this one. This one totally feels like this one. It's his. That's his signature. This is a John Carpenter. You know? It's a John Carpenter. This is
good year,
great
good
vintage.
Year.
Yes. And all of them have that.
Right.
You know, but I think for me, other than I guess somebody like Raimi, who this is a Raimi movie, you know. But I think as a youngin', it was like a very, he has his style. This is the John Carpenter thing. And you know that this movie is his. You can almost have a frame, hear the music, and be like, oh, that's John Carpenter.
The music is
but what I'm saying is you can be flipping through channels at a young age.
It could be on mute.
You'd be like, ooh, Carpenter. Yeah. Obviously, his love of 235, you know, widescreen, the synth, all of that, the atmosphere. Anytime I talk about John Carpenter with anybody,
these are good. These bullet points get
atmosphere is the biggest thing. The music, the atmosphere, just the way that those movies, in particular, make me feel, and that's why I think he is a master at what he does.
Well, he makes the ridiculous believable.
Oh yeah, like. Everything feels authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's just authentic. And as goofy and wild as Big Trouble is, it's still like, you know, this could happen to them. You know,
guy could
he just
blow
makes
up like
it
that.
feel
It's mystical. Yeah,
it's got that atmosphere. Yeah. I don't know.
And the brilliance of him is to go from horror to sci-fi to action and still have that same feel.
Exactly.
Where they all belong in the same
That's what
universe.
I mean. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at, is that he can hop genres and you still know that's a Carpenter. Yeah. Okay. That's a Carpenter. He's got that.
Where somebody like Spielberg might pivot a little bit if he's moving from
I agree with
action.
that. I agree with that because although there's a certain time, which is my favorite time, but there's a certain time of Spielberg where it absolutely is.
Oh, definitely.
That's Spielberg, that's Spielberg, that's Spielberg. As the time went on,
he's matured and he's gone into more dramatic.
That kind of goes away, and sort of JJ took over that old Spielberg feel. But yeah, so man, so yeah, he just became sort of like it for me as far as genre filmmakers go. You know, and we love, and I love Romero. You know, there's films with all those genre filmmakers that we absolutely adore and that are probably on our like top lists. You know, but for me, he just stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks. You know what I'm saying?
Because he was very prolific too. So
heck yeah, he was.
Where somebody like Romero kind of took a break in between there and didn't do something for a few years.
Yeah, man.
Which is crazy because Carpenter got so non-Hollywood, but he was still able to keep pumping them out.
And I feel like, you know, it's I don't know, maybe it's silly to say it, but his because this music was sort of prevalent anyway in the 80s, but the synth wave thing, the adoption of the keyboard and everything that he was doing with the keyboard back then, and making it very signature Carpenter through all his movies. But that sound was still very significant sound within certain niches throughout the 80s. But I think, like, if I hear it today, synthwave music, 80s music anyway, I can't help but think
Carpenter.
John Carpenter.
Well, now when any newer filmmaker puts out a movie and it has synth music, they make the comparison.
It's an homage, of course.
Yeah.
But you could go either way. The guy could say, "Well, no, it's just 80s synthwave."
Yeah.
But come on, you're also doing a Carpenter.
Right. Somebody reviewing their said movie is gonna bring up that Carpenter-esque.
Yeah. And I love it.
Score.
Yeah. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And I love it anytime I hear it in any other, like, genre films from the 80s. I just love the sound. But it's just very special when it's a Carpenter.
Right.
So we both have had... You saw him live, right?
I did, yes.
So we both had that experience of seeing the man live, because he went out a couple times. One to promote his original work, recent original works, and then one to do like a whole retrospective while still doing some of his original, but it was more so like all the films of Carpenter,
with footage playing behind him as he played.
So he went out with a band, his son as well as part of that group, and I love the albums too, the newer albums that he did.
Good, man.
Great stuff.
Lost Themes.
Yes, the Lost Themes. Yeah. So what was your experience like?
Seeing him live. I mean, it was religious. We were in it was all the Fright Rags crew went, and we were probably 3 or 4 rows back. And there's a photo out there. If I think about it, once this goes live, I'll post it. But someone caught Ben and I just watching John Carpenter, and just our eyes and our mouths agape, just like, oh my God, it's happening, you know. And I mean, it was infectious because he was up there on stage, just having a blast, and he's, here's this old man just playing music and just having a blast, because he gets that curmudgeon tag put upon him, but it was awesome. It was an experience and one of the best concerts I've ever been to, and if he does it again, I'm there.
Yeah. So mine was...
Oh, no!
No.
Oh, okay.
Mine was... Okay. I mean... it was one of the greatest experiences.
Okay. All right, good.
I have
there was
ever
a pause
had
there. I'm
in my
like,
life.
and I threw up and shit my pants.
Oh, no.
He saw me do it.
I tell people that it was the greatest, most surreal, like, thing that I've ever been a part of.
Okay.
I can't even... I don't know. It was so bizarre. It was like me and Shawnee and Casey and our buddies, everybody.
Yeah.
So we gathered. We went down to New York City. People surprised me as like an early birthday gift, and they showed up and surprised me and said, "Hey, we're going too." So it was a big group of us, and I've had experiences like this, but it was one of those like communal. We were all together, and we were all sort of like looking at each other and not believing where we were and what was happening. There was a lot of... This hasn't happened throughout my lifetime a lot, where I'm hanging out with my good group of friends, but the very odd camaraderie between everybody. I mean, there was a lot of backslapping. There was a lot of like putting, like doing this. Like, it was just so like
a moment.
Yes, it really was. And then when he got up there and it all started, I think everyone was just like, "Hush, this is blowing our shit away." Like, we cannot believe this is happening. So, because of that, because of the experience, it's just something that I will never forget.
Yeah.
And it's goosebumpy and crazy. I absolutely loved it, and I'll never forget it. And I hope that he comes back out again.
Yeah.
Because I want to do it one more time.
Yeah.
You know? And I wouldn't be surprised if it's pretty much the same experience.
Yeah, I don't care.
I think we were all just so giddy, and we were so filled with fun and
wonderment,
fright, and just so happy. You know, oh, this is from his concert,
nice.
And he's got the dates on the back and everything. Yeah, and we've got a poster over there from the event. But holy shit, man! You know, and I think, and it's great hearing that from you because you guys the same thing. You're just in awe of what you're seeing. But when you look around, everyone was sort of, I think, feeling the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy shit, you know? Smiles,
well, he's
eyes
pointing at
bugged out.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, is he pointing at me?
Yeah.
Hi, JC.
Yeah. You know, it was almost like you were in one of his films. Certainly when he did the fog, and like the fog starts rolling in from the stage and everything, and just, oh my God, what a time. You know.
Now, have you met him at a convention? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
This was probably 4 years ago.
Okay.
I want to say 4 years ago. Finally. Now he had been.
Really?
He had
4 years ago was the first time.
Yes.
Wow.
He had been at conventions where I had been before.
You've been working.
But I was working,
Yeah.
or the lines were so incredibly crazy that it was like, well, I'm never going to be able to see this guy, you know? Mm-hmm. So, and it would happen frequently, and I'd be like, I'm destined never to meet John Carpenter, you know?
You just missed him.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those, like. And so I think it was Katie, my wife, who was like, hey, John Carpenter's at Wizard World. You want to do this? And I'm like, and she's like, I will pay
so you
for your, I will set this up ahead of time so you can meet this man. And I was like, absolutely. My wife and I share, like, she absolutely loves The Thing.
Nice.
So she kind of goes gaga for anything The Thing. She wanted all that. She's got as many people as possible, autographs on the poster and everything. But John Carpenter is John Carpenter, so she knows my passion for the man. So I get down there, Wizard World, finally, and it was half and half. I guess him being at a comic convention like that, it's, well, certainly now with the comics that he has, but then there weren't that many people there to see John Carpenter. It was everybody
He's just
else.
not the demographic.
Yeah. So that was like, yay! Because I knew,
walk right up.
I knew I was gonna have a chance to talk to this man, not just go, I love everything you do, thank you so much, okay, bye. But talk to the man, because there weren't a lot of people going up to him.
Right.
So I had my autograph thing and everything, and we went up there, and Katie started taking pictures and everything. And instead of blabbing off about,
Love that part.
Everything that he's heard for years and years and years, I knew that he was a big Godzilla fan.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, are you excited about the new Godzilla? I was like, listen, I know you're a big Godzilla fan. Let's talk Godzilla. And he's like, ooh. He's like, well, yes. He's like, I haven't seen it yet. Did you see it yet? And I was like, yeah, we recently went. So I guess it was 2014 when Godzilla came out.
Wow, that was 2014.
And he was just talking about Godzilla.
That's awesome.
And he was saying, oh, he's like, if you get a chance to meet, so and so, he's like, do it, because the stories they'll tell about the making of blah 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 blah. And it was just really like, okay, I'm having that moment now. And it's not about everything that I love about this man, but it's about something
human
that
interaction.
It's just something.
Like if you brought up a Western,
where two dudes
like,
who love
Westerns, I love them.
Kaiju movies, talking about Godzilla, and then he happily signed everything we wanted him to sign. He's like, he goes, thanks, man, and I'll remember.
He probably
the
made his day, yeah.
We shook hands, there's pictures, and that was my John Carpenter experience.
Nice. So, yeah, I met him at Hunt Valley, so it wasn't very crowded.
I love
that one.
Yeah.
Love Hunt Valley. it's not a knock on anything at that show. It's not well populated, so it was easy just to
It
kinda,
used to be.
right. That's
When
what
it was
I've been
called
told.
Horror Find?
Yeah. Not sure what.
That was amazing.
This
for
was my
us.
second time bending with Fright Rags.
Fright rags, fright rags, fright rags, making you sweat.
That could be a commercial. Wait, why do we make you sweat?
Because you're just so invested in Fright Rag. You're just like, oh my god.
So
These are
I
powerful.
I went over with Chad. Chad, when I first was hanging out with Chad.
Who?
Chad Young, as the kids call him. I walked right up because there was no line. And I actually was doing graphic design type stuff. So I made I Love New York design. And I'm claiming that I was the first to do that. But instead of the heart, it was Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
And
I
put
have
it-
that shirt.
And I put it down in front of him, and this is cool. And I'm like, oh my god! Like I was looking around for, holy crap, you really? And Tommy Lee Wallace was sitting right next to him, and he saw. He was like, yeah, that is cool. And he could see that Tommy Lee Wallace could see that I was like, oh my god. And he goes, calm down, kid. It ain't that cool. I'm like, oh, okay. So he signed it, and I got down next to him, and he took the photo, and just double blank stares because I was just in awe. And he was John Carpenter.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was brief, but it was awesome. This was the same convention. There's a video out there on YouTube where he did a Q&A
That where the kid goes.
where somebody asked him what happened with Escape from LA, and he pretty much told him to go fuck himself. You know.
It was great, but what the hell happened with Escape from LA?
It's interesting because my good friend Clint, John Carpenter is his favorite director, period.
Okay.
And I had to get him an autograph for him because Clint says he doesn't have it in him to be able to go up to the man in person.
So it's like Troy on Community when he met LeVar Burton. If anybody
Sure.
gets that reference.
It's been a while.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just too afraid. He's too
Interesting.
He's afraid he's gonna, yeah. And he
Trip would kill him somehow.
yeah. So.
Abagu.
But I say, man, like, grab that opportunity.
Yeah.
And he ain't getting any younger, Clint. So if you have the means, if he happens to be around,
You go.
Do
Grab
it.
that brass ring.
do it. All right,
Yeah.
crazy. So let's get creamy and wet with the films of Mr. Carpenter, the films that we love the most from Mr. John
The
Carpenter.
ones we love the most. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I mean, because truth be told, for me personally, I don't love all his work.
Oh no.
But there's a large portion of it that I do
Oh
love.
yes. I mean,
So,
just the hits.
but well, I love one that might not be considered a hit.
Oh. I meant hit in terms of fans of, like, they place on the pedestal.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, because it was made for TV. It was not a
Oh. Okay.
big to do in a fans list anyway.
Gotcha.
As far as at least I don't think so.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
so maybe I'll start with that one.
Yeah. What do you got?
I
I got them all. 'Cause I brought my box.
body bag.
Oh yeah, body bag is awesome.
I love body bags.
I got it too.
Most people don't,
Really?
or they don't even know about it.
Is that
It was a Showtime original,
supposed to be their Tales from the Crypt?
indeed, and
What happened?
this was a, Chris Stevens reserving this VHS. He's got his
great
name.
VHS cover.
He's got his
Great.
name on the reservation, and I have that poster.
purple-
It's rolled up.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, body bags. I love it. He basically plays like
The Crypt Keeper.
the crypt keeper, but he's the coroner. Basically, he's the coroner, and he's undead. And there's tales of terror, with Mark Hamill.
Yes. Not the.
And he's
first-
great.
Not the first time.
And
he's
he's great
worked
in
with
it.
him.
No,
Yeah,
and
it's a couple
Stacey
times.
Keach, isn't
Oh,
it?
with
With
the
a
hair.
great hair episode
yeah.
of the anthology. She's Robert Carradine.
Yes, as the that's the mechanic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a great little anthology. People don't talk about it as much, you know, but I absolutely loved it.
I feel like they do now.
So
with the Scream Factory release.
That's on
I think
there.
it's more on
That's
the
on a
lips
list
of people.
of my favorites. It's not in my top 5, but it's like right up there. So it's on the cusp of those 5. It's dripping off the.
I guess I'll do a cusp of top 5 then, and that would be Christine.
See, I like Christine, but I don't love Christine.
It's not even opened yet.
But I want to get the 4K release,
But
because I hear that it's pretty spectacular.
one of my first early memories, my dad took me to see that. I was 7 years old. Cool. I mean, he thought I could handle that.
I like Binny Varbarina in it.
Yeah.
You guys will know what I'm talking about.
When you see it, yeah. Travolta-esque.
And I think the best scene for me, the best scene in that movie,
Oh.
is that when she puts herself back
together. Oh my
and
God.
like and the camera move that's happening and the music that's happening. It's like, ooh, it's giving me chills right now just thinking about it because it's dope.
That
It's
was
a great
thing
scene.
back then.
Great scene.
It was all practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're in top 5 territory.
This is in my top 5.
Okay.
But maybe I'll go with. All right. Let's do this one.
Okay.
This one is also on the cusp.
Okay.
So it's not in my top 5, but it is right there.
It is in my top 5.
Escape from New York.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful. This movie is beautiful. It
slipcover.
looks great. Another Kurt Russell. I mean, listen. Anytime Kurt Russell, John Carpenter get together, they're knocking it out of the park.
Can we get one more?
Other than L.A. I just don't like L.A.
Can we get one more Carpenter?
I would love it, man. It drives me insane that they haven't.
What would you want? You want an original thing or a sequel to something?
I think an original. I would rather them do.
Yeah.
Although, not that this would happen, but I would love to see where Jack Burton is
old man
now,
Burton.
You know?
They
And
did
I
a
know they're
comic
doing that in the
series.
comics, but man, I bet they would have a ball doing like
Some kind of mystical.
the present,
Yeah.
you know, man. So yeah, but I think creatively, I would like to see them
Something
do a new
different.
horror movie. They're back, you know, like holy shit. I don't
People
understand
lose
why
their
this isn't
collective
happening.
minds.
Why isn't this happening?
I don't think. Do you honestly think he'll ever direct again? Another movie, theatrical movie? Because I don't think he will.
I don't
He
think he
loves
cares
music.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
he
other
really
thing.
just
And I respect that. I'm good.
he did it.
Makes tons of money.
He's
you
a
know,
master.
Yeah.
People are aping him, and people will ape him forever.
Yeah.
You know, like he's done it, and now he's like, and you can tell when he's on that stage, that dude
That's
is
his
having
happy
a
place,
ball,
yeah.
man. Like he is just,
And then having to shoot a movie, and then
you know. But
he wouldn't do it through a studio.
as a fan,
I mean, yeah,
I gotta tell you, if I won the lottery,
you would bankroll.
I absolutely would say, Mr. Carpenter, I will give you the money if you and Kurt Russell.
Why isn't that a thing? I'm
Make
sure
a
it
movie
is
again.
somewhat.
Yeah.
I would love some crazy billionaire.
Because you don't think about that. Who does that? You know what I mean? People, are, for the most part, people are just greedy. They don't think about something as crazy as that. I would, because I'm
bankroll
a
your
movie geek. And if I had like hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars upon gazillions, I would be like, absolutely, let's make another movie, guys.
Come on,
Here's the dough.
come with me.
You know? God damn. That'd be great. And I'd try to lure Peter Jackson back to horror as well.
Maybe when he's doing these 4K restorations,
Maybe
he'll
it'll put a little juice in him.
Get a little bug.
But yeah, Escape from New York, it's great. It just doesn't make that 5 list for me. But it's, you know, when I'm watching old Carpenter,
Right.
Escape is definitely on the list. It just not quite there for me.
Well, it was a Sophie's choice between Escape and this film. It did not make my top 5, but it is The Fog.
That is in my top 5.
I was actually late to the party on this one.
Well, really?
I saw it at a double feature when Tom Atkins was in Rochester. When they played Night of the Creeps and the Fog. So that was my first time. But that was like 10, 12 years ago.
Oh man, no, I
loved it. I was like, holy shit, why did it take me so long to see this?
Another...
Because I remember seeing the poster on my dad's wall, the little green board thing.
I grew up with a
soundtrack.
crush on Adrienne Barbeau. I still have like an adult crush on her. I just think she's wonderful in many, many ways.
And they were
Yes, they were. But her performance is fantastic. The whole thing, again, atmosphere. The Fog is dripping with atmosphere. Love everything about it. And I celebrate it every year on April 21st. So it's coming up. It's coming up. I'm going to be watching it again.
I got to visit the church, the actual church. And while we were outside of the church, someone came out and was like, do you guys want to come in the church? And I guess that was never allowed.
Come in the church.
So we went in the church. And it was, you're just, oh my God, this is the church.
Yeah, man. So good. Oh, I mean, folks, even Newsweek says it's crisply chilling. Crisply chilling.
I want you to name a character crispy chilling. And,
I will.
For
Hello,
one of
I'm
your
crisply
movies.
chilling.
Can I play that character?
Yes, you're crisply chilling.
Try and say it.
Go on, you.
A top 5 movie. It probably should be number 1.
It is my number
But
one.
Halloween is everything to me. So
Oh shit! You're right. Halloween
thing.
is in there. I keep forgetting about Halloween.
the thing.
So, but
So maybe
Halloween
how
is
about
just so
how about the
Halloween.
Halloween memorial list? And this is number 1. Can we do that? Okay,
Yeah,
it's our show. We
yeah.
can do
Halloween
whatever
is.
we want.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
Halloween for sure
This
is
is-
up there. But The Thing is my favorite John Carpenter movie.
It's insane how good this is.
Yep. Yep.
It tanked when it came out, and is now considered to be one of the best sci-fi horror movies ever made. The effects, I mean, just a bullet list of why this is amazing.
This is a movie that it's one of those movies. There's many, but it's one of those movies where I could literally watch this any time of the year, every single year.
Greatest remakes of all time.
And we do. I love that I can share the love of it with my wife. And we recently showed my son River.
Nice, you did.
And he loved it.
Okay, good.
And I loved that he loved it. I was so afraid that he was going to think it was so boring. But we loved watching him watch it.
Nice.
Because his eyes were bugged out.
What?
He was like...
Did you watch him during the...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything. Perfect, like... Just... The reactions were great. He was like turning around saying... I bet this guy's the thing. You know, he's really getting into it, and where'd McGreedy go? What's going on? You know, he was just so like
So much that he started checking.
he was getting into it, and I loved it, and that's magical.
Scared me as a kid. 82. There was this Leonard Nimoy show on Nickelodeon about movie making, and they showed clips from it, and they weren't censored. And it was pretty graphic for a kids show, and I was like, holy crap. I need to see this someday, but right now I'm pretty scared.
This is one of those movies where like kind of along the lines of Halloween or Evil Dead, where I had so many freaking copies of this movie throughout the years. But this, my friends, this Scream Factory is the definitive as far as I'm concerned. So beautiful. That's up there. That is my favorite Carpenter movie. But that's the top of the 5 list.
They live.
Yep. They live.
Top 5?
That is in my top 5.
Excellent.
They live. Everyone knows it. Come on.
Yes. So good.
Rowdy Roddy.
Which was
Isn't isn't it today the anniversary of his
birthday.
Or it was his birthday, yes.
Happy
his
birthday, Roddy. Yeah.
Roddy! You hear me, brother?
Picking him as the lead was, they probably thought he was crazy.
Probably.
Because,
But it's great. It works.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It is perfect. It's
To the point where he was, I mean, obviously Piper's known for his wrestling, but step down on the list is They Live.
Man,
He
it's
did
a great
conventions for the next 20, 25 years.
You know, this is I gotta do a Carpenter Day. You know, I gotta do an event one of the
Like
home
a Saturday
theater.
morning
Yep,
Carpenter.
it's all Carpenter. Saturday morning
When's his
Carpenter.
birthday? Let's look up his birthday.
I don't know.
There it is.
It's soon. I don't know, but yeah, because I'm getting like talking about all these. I'm just like, man,
But all his
gotta do
TV
this.
movies.
yeah, just the TV movies. Cigarette Burns is fantastic.
Have
you seen Cigarette?
I have not.
Oh, it's good though. You got to see that, Tansky. I have Cigarette Burns.
I got Cigarette
Oh, that's
Burns.
right there. Yeah.
And then we got Pro-Life.
That one's good, but I think Cigarette Burns is better.
Okay.
They live, man. They live. You got to watch out.
And this
That's
is the
what's
one
happening today.
This is the one I've never seen
in society.
but I own it. That's the board.
Oh,
I know. I don't. Complete us.
no. You'll see.
Oh, and Elvis. Elvis.
And
is
it doesn't
another-
even feel like a Carpenter movie.
Oh, that's
Not
too bad.
at all.
There's no synth.
It just you'll see.
Okay.
It is so flat and lifeless.
This
paycheck.
foray into comedy.
One of Katie's favorite films.
I feel
I bought
like
that for her recently.
I feel like this is the movie that derailed his career, sort of.
I am not a fan.
Because after this, you didn't hear from him much.
Are these just
same
you're
with-
just throwing them out?
I'm
They're
just
not
throwing
part
them
of
out
your.
there. No.
Yeah.
Might as well go over the entire filmography. Some aspects. Because we're gonna have crossover, so I was just kind of mixing it up. Now, what is
Trouble.
this Arrow? What is?
This is the Arrow release, man.
I need to-
It's magic. One of the best things about that Arrow release is there is a recent, they did it for the release, interview with Kurt Russell talking about the film. Fantastic. I believe it's a 2K scan of the
I
film,
might have to.
but I absolutely love it. And the Scream Factory did it, but because I have this, I didn't need to get it.
Right.
But this is, without a doubt, for me, like one of the funnest movies. Just in a really fun, ridiculous
Still
adventure
holds up.
movie.
That was our very first Saturday Night Rewind, which is a film series we do here in Rochester, New York. Fright Rags and this place called The Little, which is an independent theater. We do Saturday Night Rewinds where we show classic genre movies, comedies on the goal is to show it on 35 millimeter. Sometimes that is hard to come by, but Big Trouble in Little China was our very first.
This was definitely a constant renter for me.
Yes.
With my friends for sure. We just loved it. It just the action, the comedy, the mysticism, the magic, the Carpenter. It's all there.
I think Big Trouble is the first movie where I realized him. That's John Carpenter. And he came on my, even though I had seen Christine and knew about Escape from New York and The Thing, I think Big Trouble was that, where it came on my radar.
Love it. Let's win the lottery, Chris, so we can have them make a Big Trouble too. More trouble.
Well, they say this remake's going to be a sequel, so.
Yeah, I see that. But I've also
We've been hearing this for years.
But Kurt Russell has also said there's, I'm Jack Burton, I'm Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Nobody else is ever going to be, those characters. So I don't know. Well, sequel, I don't know. Listen, I won't put it past them. I absolutely think it will get made. I totally think it will get made. Because that's just Hollywood, man.
It's just Hollywood.
It is, man. It's like, it's an old property. We can
an
make
IP.
money off of it.
That's the catch IP. That's the thing. Late to this one as well.
Creamy.
And this movie's batshit crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that movie.
It's different.
So it's not in my collection.
Oh. Nope. See, I just he's the only one I own. Everyone. Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
He's fun in that one.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Simon and Simon guy.
I mean,
Not Gerald McCraney.
It 100% looks and feels Carpenter. It just, the subject matter just didn't appeal to
I
me.
remember my old man when he came back from seeing it, not liking it.
Yeah.
He's
And he beat you.
yes. It was. This is what happens to.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Prince of Darkness once again.
make a good movie for you, sir.
And this is the last of my top 5.
Oh, wait. I have that, right?
In the Mouth of Madness.
Yes, I do.
I went to see it 3 times when it came out.
Really?
Oh, yes.
You were the guy.
I love this movie. Love it, love it, love it.
I need to revisit.
So good. The poster, I have had this poster since 1994, 1995, and it is hanging. It's hanging up in the hallway, walking down here. I love the movie. I think it's great. I think it's. There's people who sort of.
It's probably his last really good movie.
Really good, yes, because I do like vampires.
I do too.
But
Except I read the book, so I wanted the movie to be the book. The book is amazing.
One of the biggest things I hate about vampires is James Woods. Because I don't like James Woods at all as an actor, as a human being. So
in 2019, that's the consensus.
That's the one thing that kind of put me off of vampires, but I love everything about it.
Oh, such a great premise.
You know?
Vampires. I'm not Blu-raying this one.
Yeah, I don't have the Blu-ray, even though I do like it, but But anyway, so In the Mouth of Madness, absolutely love it. It's kind of a choose your own ending type thing.
Right.
You know, it leaves you sort of with those questions. You can
here?
sort of make up what you think the ending is, and I love having debates with people about their ending and all that stuff. So it's just a great, really weird, Lovecraftian, great KMB. You know, Sutter Kane is sort of legendary now. You know, do you read Sutter Kane? All that stuff. It's just a dope
deep
movie.
cut. I think fans of his, they like that deep cut.
It was in the thick of the New Line days, New Line Cinema days. I just really love it. Oh, and the soundtrack, his score, he makes the opening theme sound very Metallica.
Yes.
Very very Enter Sandman. But it's still dope. I just love the movie. I think it's great.
Before we go into the obvious, we've got some early Dark Star.
Oh, Dark Star.
And,
Dan O'Bannon.
And Assault on
Precinct 13.
But Thing's your number one?
Thing is my number one.
And you've gone through all your top 5?
Those are my top 5 now.
All right. Well, it goes without saying.
But I love Halloween. Yeah, I love Halloween. That's sort of like, that doesn't need to be in a list.
It's like
it's Halloween.
It's its own wing.
It's
like when people ask
Madonna.
If people ask me what
like
my
Cher.
favorite movie is, I have my own wing where it's your Godfathers, your Star Wars trilogies. I think maybe this needs to be in it. It kind of helped shape who I am in some ways, just because of horror and the genre and being told I'm not allowed to watch it, but then sneaking off to watch it, and then it just encompassing my life to 42 years old, working for a company that makes horror T-shirts. So it's got to be my number one. It's number one horror, with Fright Night being number 2.
Yeah,
Fright
Night's my number 1.
But yeah, so that's the influence.
If I could, I would make another Fright Night video.
Yes. Oh,
just talking about.
See, I think would you have? So if you multimillionaire, John Carpenter directing a Fright Night sequel.
No, but
because now I'm thinking.
Let me say this:
to not have Carpenter make a movie, but do another Fright Night movie.
I would, if Tom Holland were a little younger.
Yes. Well, yes, he's Spider-Man. Sorry,
you know what I'm talking
about.
Yeah, I know. I absolutely would pay Tom Holland to make another Fright Night movie. William Ragsdale. We'd get Stephen Jeffries. We'd get everybody. Amanda Bierce. There'd be some sort of, real tribute and legacy to Roddy McDee for Peter Vincent. But yeah, I would. Man, I want to see Fright Night 3. I want to see Weekend at Bernie's 3. I want to see Teen Wolf 3. I want it all, man.
I would love a Teen Wolf 3.
But Bernie's still dead. He can do it. Terry Kaiser. He's melting. He's melting.
Just a skeleton.
Man, Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Silverman, they're still young bucks. Come on, they can still carry him.
Where's my Silverman
around?
You out there, Silverman?
I
haven't seen him in a while.
Weekend at Bernie's. Celebrating its 30th anniversary.
That's correct. 89.
This year. On the John Carpenter special. Weekend at John Carpenter's.
Does that mean we're going to do a Bernie's episode. We should do an 89 episode.
The weekend, we did.
Oh.
Me and Casey did it.
Oh, okay.
And you and I did 84.
Yeah. What other years can we do?
Plenty.
Okay.
We can do all the 80s, man.
Let's do it.
It's Crept from the 80s. We can do everything 80s.
That's the name of the show. Take a shot.
So that was our John Carpenter episode. Are there any last words
No, I think we covered.
you have on the man?
I think we covered everything. Is there any movies I missed? You got Escape from L.A., Village of the Damned.
Yeah, again, I don't like those movies. But more Mark Hamill for
Ghost of Mars. Crazy as fuck.
No,
Crazy.
That's one of those movies where I went back to the theater to make sure that I didn't like the movie. Because that first time I was like, nope, no sir.
And I think
I don't like it.
I think this is the only movie of his that earned an Oscar nomination. I think it's for acting.
Ghost of Mars? Oh, wait, no.
Starman.
Oh, Starman. Starman's good. Yeah.
Starman's
Jeff
an
Bridges.
underrated film.
Yeah.
They made a TV show out of it with
Which is great.
Robert
Hayes. Yeah.
of
That's
Airplane
great.
fame. Oh, she's an Airplane.
Oh, best comedies of the 80s, man.
Yeah,
That would be in there.
I like it.
All right.
But yeah, that's it.
Well, that was it, man. So that was us waxing
Oh, weird.
about the main man, John Carpenter. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know down in the comments.
Your favorite.
What do you think of John Carpenter? Is he a magi to you? Is he
Gift of the Magi?
What are your favorite John Carpenter films? And let's talk JC.
I like it.
All right. So like the video if you like the video. Subscribe, spread the word, let everyone know about this crazy show.
Trying to get to 500 subscribers.
Yeah, I think right now we're sitting at
441.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Ooh, we were 440 this morning when I checked.
Yeah,
so
441. Thank you.
Awesome.
Number
Thank
one.
you so much, everyone. So yeah, until next time, goodbye.